Here we go. Go.
Okay. Hey, we're Cancer Action New York, and I'm Don Hassig, and I'm the director. And this is Lou Shepard. He's the cameraman, and he's also a co-founder. We started Cancer Action New York in January of 2000. And see, it's always been here in St. Lawrence County. And the reason we started it was because there are, I don't know how long you've been around here, but I grew up here. I grew up over in Elizabeth, and now I live over in Colton. And I came here when I was 5 years old, and gradually, you just hear more and more people talking about it. And we started looking at the cancer statistics. And St. Lawrence County, Jefferson County, a bunch of counties around here have high cancer rates, higher than all the rest of New York State, And so we wanted to do something about that. So we started this Cancer Action New York group. And our goal was to minimize exposure to chemicals that cause cancer. That was, we weren't going to work on cigarette smoking. That's part of it. It's certainly part of the problem. But we were going to work on the pollution because, we're downwind from the Great Lakes smokestacks. Right. We're downwind from the St. Lawrence River Valley smokestacks. Well, those too. There's this huge factory. It's a nylon factory. It's called Invista. Mm-hmm. It used to be DuPont, and it's right over there in Maitland, Ontario. Okay. So we're downwind from that, this part of St. Lawrence County. Some of the people in St. Lawrence County, in the town of Morristown, they're right across the river from this. It has very low smokestacks. It puts out a lot of pollution because every once in a while people will report to us they've seen like these fireballs or they've seen these like times when the air smelled really bad. All this stuff through the years. But truly even worse than what's right here, in this air supply, it's what we're downwind from the Ohio River Valley. We're downwind from that Golden Triangle down there around Toronto, where there's this huge. I went online one time and I was looking at air pollution stuff. There's like a pollution inventory for the province of Ontario. And I just checked to see, I was thinking, well, how many are there? How many smokestacks that are permitted to put out, pollution into the air right over in Ontario? It was unreal. There were thousands of them. Thousands of smokestacks just in Ontario alone.
Don?
Yeah?
Get to the punchline.
Okay. Answer this. Just tell me this. Have you heard of a group of chemicals called POPs? Okay, persistent organic pollutants. What have you heard about it?
I heard that if it gets into the lungs, it can probably shut down the system, starting from the brain cell and all the way down.
How do you get exposed to them?
By breathing in toxins or anything in general air.
Yep, so POPs. Well, see, that is part of the story, but what we're trying, I'm so glad that you're on that page with us, What we're trying to do is get our county government. Right upstairs, there's a health department. And see, I met with Dr. Susan Hathaway, who's the director of the St. Lawrence County Public Health Department. She's been there for a couple of years. I met with her and I said to her, will you help us, we want to form a partnership between Cancer Action New York and the St. Lawrence County Public Health Department. And it's going to be about POPs exposure reduction education. So we want her and her health department and our group, small group, to somehow educate everybody in St. Lawrence County about these POPs and cancer. Not the other diseases, just POPs and cancer. And what we found is that truly, according to EPA, the main way people get exposed to the POPs is by eating animal fat. So it's like eating, say, ice cream that's got animal fat in it, beef that's got animal fat in it, hot dogs, bologna, Spam,
90%
pork.
of basic household needs.
Yeah, the kind of meat that has fat in it. It's just the fat,
Right.
So we went to the public health department, asked them to do this, and they weren't interested. So then we worked with legislators. I have a very good county legislator. His name is Scott Sutherland. He's over the Colton area where I'm from. Lou has not been able to get any cooperation from his legislator because he's a big dairy farmer. Okay. And this guy just will not deal with this. He just will not deal with it. And it's all about money. The corporate farmers, they do not want the public being told that there are POPs in the animal fat that cause cancer, and that's part of what causes cancer here and every place else. So what do you think? What would you advise us to do? We're struggling, we're trying to figure out, and we thought about making a movie. Do you think making a movie is a way to go to just somehow get past the resistance of the government to dealing with this message? Because see, we can't do it alone. We cannot educate alone.
There's 2 or 3 things that possibly happen with the movie. Usually it's going to totally backfire, and you say that your production management isn't as good as it should be, or that the research value isn't as it should be, or it's actually going to hit home. Yeah. The likelihood of either or happening is about a 45% success rate. So it really depends.
Yeah. And so, have you been around St. Lawrence County long? Is this new to you?
Or 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm 55. I've been here for most of my life. And so I just kind of feel like that I know this place. And see, this thing with the St. Lawrence River Valley, The truth of it is, the St. Lawrence River Valley has gotten so much pops through the years. It started manufacturing PCBs in the 1930s, and they used them extensively,
Okay.
you know, all through the economy, you know. So there were lots of wastewater discharges into the Great Lakes Basin, you know, Superior, Huron, Michigan, Erie, all these, Lake Ontario, lots of PCBs going in there from the wastewater discharges. But then see the PCBs, they are actually semi-volatile, so they get in the air too. And like what you're talking about, the air breathing exposure, you know, and we do. There's been research published by one of the doctors, professors at St. Lawrence University here in Canton, this Jeff Chiaranzelli. He made a presentation to a public forum of ours, and at that public forum, he reported on research that they've done where people that live downwind of the Great Lakes, they're breathing more PCBs than people that live upwind of them. So you know, we're getting that dose of PCBs, and then we're eating this animal fat. And we have concluded that the POPs exposure, the combined POPs exposure of breathing the PCBs and flame retardants and dioxins in the air, and then eating the PCBs and dioxins and POPs in the animal fat, that is a major contributor to cancer causation in this place. And so, you know, we are intent upon just hammering and hammering and hammering on that message until everybody in St. Lawrence County has heard it at least once, you know. So, you know, wish us good luck, and you know, I don't know.
Wish you best of
We are
luck.
really trying to figure this out.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, you know, thanks so much
For your
quick,
participation.
You know, talk about it. It was like so cool, you know, because there wasn't anybody else here, you know, yet. Wow, I said, will you talk to us about POS? He said, yes. That's good. You're good guy.
Okay,
Nice
thank
talking.
you.